Has it begun? Everybody, join me? Anybody gonna join me? 10 minutes of Mr. Tackpans. See if we can find him. Mr. Tackpans, are you in the back somewhere? Oh yeah, there you are. There you are. You know where Mr. Tackpans likes to hide out, eh? In between the lines, in the gutters. There's a lot of space in the gutters. Things go through there. You don't need much for a mouse to get through a hole, do you? I ain't calling God a mouse. He's Mighty Mouse. Anything wrong with Mighty Mouse? Mickey Mouse? Where are we going to go first? Why is there so much crime? Why are there so many people in jail? Why? Secondary reason, our fault. All our fault. Question comes like this. Somebody rapes. Let's put him away. Somebody shoots and kills. Let's put him away. But when it comes to drugs, okay, my friends, you don't seem to understand. The rich seem to get anything they want and all the drugs they want and the best drugs besides that, and they're okay. And they make the big money. And then they say, well, look at all the black guys in jail. Look at all the white guys, Hispanic guys, Jewish guys, Asian guys. Everybody's into the drug industry, right? But we put rules and regulations into it. What you could and what you can't do. We made it into a game where we're supposed to catch somebody. We even have rules and regulations when we do catch them. And it depends what we catch them with. You catch them with a broad, she opens her mouth, you listen to her, you forget about the drugs. Now not only have you got a crime scene, but now you got a rape. And it wasn't a rape, she just wants to get out of it. But you see, all these things of putting rules and regulations and things have just caused more trouble than anything else. Okay? We have to understand with the basic. We can't tell our neighbor what to do. But yes, I can understand in this day and age, having 13 pigs on your front lawn is not the thing to do, right, in the neighborhood. You got to sort of, you know what I'm saying? But if your neighbor is snorting coke, I want to ask you a question. Whether he dies this year, if he dies, okay, there's an extra job. If he's that old and he's doing it, he ain't working anyways. And if he's that young and he dies, there's another extra job. Okay? If they don't die, maybe they'll learn from their lessons and teach their kids not to do it. But in this world, we seem not to get any more lessons. They seem to just teach us, and we should learn the lessons from what they teach instead of understanding the logic of life. How dumb is an animal that he goes to a tree, not any tree, this tree. Look at this. The head moves, and a pill comes out. Where is this? On the number board. This is a Pez. 7, 5, 8. 20. The 20 worlds, one world of 20, 20, and 20. Why do I do it that way? Because the cross, okay, doing it as the cross, okay, shows you the 6 dice on both sides. It also cuts across from here to here and here to here. The 4 train tracks on Monopoly. Now, just because I'm not going to be able to explain to you the train tracks, okay, I want to get into understanding of the law. Should a cop just want because he thinks? I got stopped by the cop about a month and a half ago. He stopped me because he thought I turned right too quick. He thought I was trying to avoid him. I was! Stopped at the baseball field. I told him I went to see who's playing ball. Certainly, I guess he's playing ball. They're so interested in catching to meet the quota. What do you need a quota for? Take those Canadians out of the American war, and you got $1 trillion back here over a short period of time. The same trillion that Ron Paul wants to cut, okay? Let's say we cut 10% of that, $100 billion. You don't think we're not involved? Are you kidding? We're the biggest pussies in the world. We're giving all our money to the Queen. What do you mean all our money? What is it, 3, 6, 7%? I don't know how much it is. Do the bankers own everything? Phooey on money. We should bring back the saddened lamb. She's my buddy. Me and my buddy sleep together every night. You see what's on her door? There's a pyramid right to her nose. What do you think the nose is? The division of the nose is the two-pointed pyramid. Okay? And that pyramid, if you take a look, it makes an X in the center. And there's many things you can do to a square, you know. Everybody know what you can do to a square? But anyways, let's get back to, hold on a second. I've got a visitor in from out of town. Look at this. Got a visitor from out of town. Right from Africa. Look at that. One came in from Moses, the lamb in the desert, and the other one's out of Africa. So I'm pretty cool, eh? Oh, wait a second. I got something else. Wait. And I got one from the North Pole. So if we take a look and I put down this pen and this dice and everything else, I would sort of be in the camera looking like this. Here we are, my family. And Mr. Tackpans, of course, in the background. You see, he never leaves me alone. Mr. Tackpans, you want to be in the picture? He always wants to be alone in the picture. Can't figure it out. Well, I got to put these babies down. Okay. But you know what? If I'm a little squeaky, I think this will get out the squeak. They use oil in this world. Lemon on lemon gets out the squeak. Life. Life of the Christ. This is what it is. This is the way I see it. It's a wheel lemon. You see, in life, coincidences pop up once. First car I bought 3 years ago. Pop up twice. 3 times. 982, 982, 289, 928. So if you think that's not, I know what it means, you know. What'd you say? It means that I'm crazy. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what are the law here for? What are the laws for? You know what I say? If a guy peels out his car and goes down the street, stop him and give him a goddamn ticket. Is that the best thing to do? Or take his car away for 10 days? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not these 30, 60. Everything is so drastic. Yeah, guy works all week, got caught going home a little bit too quick. No one's on the highway driving 122, gets stopped, $180 ticket. He's got 140 left. Is that insanity or what? We're not going to be perfect, and we're all in a way going to pay for each other up to a certain point. And at that point, it breaks off. And then the more you make, the more you pay. What do you want to do in this world? That's the way it is. There's got to be a system. We must live together. Doesn't everybody know what happened in this inflation? We wanted raises. We wanted to go work. We wanted to go work for companies and get these big wages and unions and everything. And sure, why not? Do you think they were really against it? They wanted to do this. That pushes more money onto the market. They weren't against the unions. All this fighting is all BS. They wanted this on the market because when your price goes up, their price goes up, more money borrowed, the banks lend out more money. Are you kidding? And then it sets hyperinflation out because nobody can stay in business and make nothing. It doesn't work that way. But the banks really at this point aren't in it for the money. But I'm not even sure if the banks are running this whole thing, if it's not the Queen along with her friend, the Pope Benoit. Pope Benoit and the Queen together in a vicious triangle with our front, with some of my friends from I don't even want to say to the south. But what's in the south is actually small. Okay, America is small, but it's big. But I don't think it's for America that America is there. According to the Illuminati, if my understanding is correct, the way I would absolutely look at this is America was to be grown and sown into the land and then take it away from them, and everything goes back to the Queen again. So whatever Obama's doing and whatever's happening in the States, he's just following orders. For what insanity reason, I do not understand. I do not understand what it means, more laws. Fix the problem. More laws is like patching up a wall 1,000 times until everything just falls on top of you, until everything becomes just water and goo. You can't patch a problem. You change the car. They make it rot. It's green light and yellow says slow down. Yellow says, yellow says go with caution. Did you know that? Go with caution. Lemonade, right? Go with caution. Lemon that needs aid. Lemonade, go with caution. The yellow sign, the orange sign. So where are we going with more laws? No. I think that we've reached a point all over the world that everybody in the first world or second world countries, let's say first, okay, that they all know what the actual way to live in. How many people are actually going to jail, okay, for real crimes? Half the people? So right away, if you take half these people, and they're not going to cause trouble. You have to set this up. If you take a life from somebody, you must reset this person up with money, a place to live properly, not putting him down and looking any worse than anybody is, pending on his crime. You must put him back into the world. And don't forget, people, even if they give him 18, 20, 22,000 for the next 2 years, it would cost you 50,000 a year for him in jail, okay? Half price to get a decent man back on his feet. No? Half price to jail? In this instance, we didn't have a chance to pass go. Because when pass go came to be, I came out of a rabbit hole. And my father was a father of a second son. And the Lord had a second son in the myth and the story of Zazareth. Do we need more laws? What's a law? L-A-W. Backwards it says wall. That's what we need. While they're taking down walls, they're putting up laws. The same damn thing. So it doesn't have 2 L's. Do you know why it doesn't have 2 L's? It only has one life of law. 1 L. Period. 13, okay, is the M. M and W, the first 2 letters. L-A. Angel life. They live like angels of their choice. They make the world like they are the kings. 64 positions on a chessboard. 2 forward, 1 to the right. 1 to the right, 2 forward. That's the way the horse moves. How do the chess pieces move? And how is it connected to creation? Laws? I must be insane. What's a fucking law? When you break a law, you have done something absolutely wrong. That has to be with the word ST. ST must be in my word for it to be concrete. Since wall does not have ST, I'll just put it in front and it'll be a stall. It's a wall that makes you stall. ST means perfection, correction, and it tells you stop. It tells you what it is. You know what I'm saying? It gives you an answer. ST. The law. Rules. A rule. R and U. Something with a U in it. But Earth doesn't have a U in it. Unless Earth is an ancient name and I'm not running. Earth and Mars could be ancient names. I don't know. Maybe the first 4 planets are ancient. I'm not sure. Rule. R-U. Kangaroo. The road. The rule. R-U. 1839. R and U. Listen to this. R and U stands to rule. Do you know why? R is the 18th letter. U is the 21st letter. And that totals 39. And I didn't know. And you know what's funny? Nibiru, okay, is N-I and Ru. Like a ruby. Okay, rubies aren't they usually red? But Nibiru, okay, Ru is 39. Nibiru is creation. Nibiru is just not another planet. I don't know, okay? I don't know if the Space Center actually knows that Nibiru and the dwarf planet and the stars, well, you do know the stars are actually reflector cameras, right? Do you know how they work? They reflect everything. It's an energy cell. Oh, energizer, right? The rabbit hole, stars in the sky, rats in the sewer. Rats and stars. One is down below and one is above, and it's the same letters. You know, same letters. R-A-T-S, add the spirit, and you got something perfect at the end. S-T. Saints. As the saints come marching in. The Latter-day Saints. You want to see the Latter-day Saints? I'm going to show you how they come marching in. Here they are. Okay? They've already been marched together now. We got to take them apart. Look at all that space in between. Oh, that's terrible. The empty space, eh? If you didn't have the empty space, you wouldn't be alive today. We need bubbles in this world. Okay? It's all about bubbies and great bubbies and all kinds of bubbles and dots and groundhog holes and all kinds of stuff because it all fits. But laws and rules? I want to tell you what I did today. I'm so scared of the police, okay, that I make sure when I go to work on the 50-kilometer that I drive between 60 and 70. But I'm still scared. But I've been driving on the road 30 years. It's just a crazy thing to see somebody do 80. I understand, but 65, 70, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and they're very strict over there, so I keep it a little bit lower than that. But rules? There's only one Jack in this world. Don't you see it? This is the one Jack. You know the ram's horns that turn up here? Well, I'm doing it over here. This would be like equal to ram's horns, but I can't drill anything into my head. You like that? You see that? That's a seagull over here on my head. It's the top part of a heart. But if you look at it sideways, it's a 3. The other way, it's an E. Oh my God, it looks like the Greek letter sigma. Trying to hold me up by the jacks of my eyes, right? Cigarette don't smoke unless you light it. Rule 39, 49, 51, 54. Oh my God, rule. Rule equals 54. 54 is what creates this. 54. What creates this? I'm not going to explain this. Okay, this is the roulette board inside an octagon on a tilt in which the numbers are supposed to go on this angle. I left them on this angle just to see the result. Don't forget, these numbers can be on this angle. These numbers can be on this angle. These numbers can be on this angle. For every face, there's another angle. You know what I'm saying? But the king of all kings is the king of clubs. There's no other that beats the king of clubs. He is far superior, in my book, to anything else. The king of clubs. And the jack of clubs. I feel like crying. SS, SS. If you take a look, there's a diamond here. If these were spirals, all these, they would block the center here and cause an explosion to the galaxy if these tails continued on. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I do them in egg shapes. Why I put this is because it shows a heart. It's actually an S and an S. It can be done with a 5 and a 2 and a 2 and a 5. 2 and a 5, 5 and a 2, 77. Christ, 3, 8, R, 18, I, 9, S, 19, T is 20. Total, Christ, 77. There's so many connections that there's somebody above and somebody coming. The question is there a Death Star? If there is a Death Star, and the governments did know about this anterior world that we were high connected to the other world, yet not to God's world, to the 144,000 midway angels working for God's world. So if they think they're actually talking to God, I don't think so. Okay? Nobody deserves space. And if they ever did talk to God, guess what? To the evil they get evil. Who is God? It's Mr. Tackpants, the devil. He's the God of the devils. God comes in as the good and as the devil, the yin and the yang. He supports both sides. He speaks not, he learneth of the game. He needs to have his imposure into this sanctity of a world to where he understands and feels it just like everybody else. Because I'm quite sure God has come to this world and died many times. And he knew where he was going. I think he was Jewish. Rule. A rule sounds like to row, like rowing a boat. Did you ever look at the Canadian $20 bill? There's guys on the back of the boat rowing, showing us somebody is the boss. You ever see our money? It's disgusting. It's terrible. And showing us insolent. I don't want to see how they jack the horse to get that pee out of him. You know, I don't want to hear about that. Okay? Don't tell me about things just to make me happy so I should overlook and you should process something to me. You give me this plastic money. You want to see what happens to this money when you light it up a little bit? Watch what happens to it. Did you see that? Look at that. It melted away. Now my bill won't go straight anymore. See? See what happens to the bill? It all curled in now. Do you understand? I did this for more than one reason. One of the reasons is because that's what fire does. It puts an envelope on things. It heats it up. It brings it closer together. It takes away the moisture in the bubbles and it makes it one. It's like putting a film over a wiring. And this might be what he did to the skins of this earth, in which what we actually don't see, which is actually what we do see, but here on earth we call it the ozone layer. Okay? That's a part of the skin. Okay? There's different levels, okay? And there's always different levels for whatever this comes out in size. Whatever this will be in size, that's what it's going to be multiplied. That's it. 36 numbers. That's it. And a position of a bunch of dice. That's it. And a couple of decks of cards. That's it. And a Monopoly game, backgammon, and if you want, there's chess and checkers too, and that's it. Nothing more than blackjack, roulette, craps. That's it. There's no more slot machines where all the sevens and bells and cherries start popping up, and all of a sudden you've got Kumba Day sitting there in front of the machine, and all he wants to do is win that money. Come on, honey, let's win that money. What the fuck, man? If things would be, they sell and they sell and they sell and they push us to buy and we buy, and then we need more money. We need more money to go out. So we get another job and we make more money. Now we got no time to go out. And holy fuck, I'm pregnant. I got 2 eggs. 1 egg, 2 eggs. Do you know one of the reasons for the eggs? I'm gonna show you something. One of the reasons for the eggs is this. This is the 6 dice on one side. The space in between this one and this one and this one and this one is the eye that connects each one together. So it takes 2 of them in order to be in the 3 and 3, double this up, creation world, in which another one goes down here. It would be just like looking at the 3 card in the deck of cards. If you want to know what this is, it's a 4. But sometimes when it's not working, it's actually a jack. Because 4 is omega, and God is omega, he is the jack. The value of the jack, J-A-C-K, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 11K totals to 25. Jack is 25. If you want to go 25, 6, 25, I can show you bunches of letters. Here, something else. Everybody's always trying to figure these out. Well, they're all the letter M's. But at the same time, if you take a deep look at them, it shows a corner. The point here is coming out at you, and it's a corner. or it's going in and it's a corner, and it's two sides of a wall, or it's two layers of a cube. The same thing. It switches around where the X is to the bottom side here. Just like the 36 numbers on roulette splits, and then they connect with 3 ones. It's like the butterfly effect. What are these? All that are in the corners over here, which are supposed to be center, but if you actually take a look, it looks like there's a hole over here. WEN, everyone represents 5. BKT, everything represents 2. HQZ, everything represents 888. So whatever you want to know about this, it's 888. The Egyptians, the teardrops, you put one, take one apart, it's a jack. You put 2 together, you actually have a heart, which is also used as this. It can be extended into a scissors that opens up. So what do the teardrops mean? I think the teardrop is 1 into the 7, 292, the I and I birth. Okay, 1 teardrop in one, 1 teardrop in the other one. Together they make the heart. Okay, you flip it upside down to duplicate it, and that's what it ends up to be. The teardrops. The teardrops are 9 and 9. I and I. 2, 2. This is the way it becomes. If it was on your telephone, it would look like this: 2 and 9, the I, because it's 2 and 9 is the birth, and 2 and 9. You see, it's not on the same thing. They're different, because here is actually the 7 spot. So anyways, it's the 9. Okay, the reason it's like this is because it's 7 and 9. So I can say 2, 7, 2, which actually already knows, once you're passing the gate for 7, it already knows it's the 8 and the 9. You know that, and just to tell you, because it's letters G and H, and they're silent. You want to use those 3 letters? Okay, I'll tell you when to do it. With the I, the G and H, and the I, the only time you ever hear the H is when you're high. H-I-G-H. You can also say H-Y, or hi, hello, how you doing? Hey, been in there 27 minutes. So I'm not too much sure. Another thing is, when you connect the 6 dice, when you take this dice and you put a dot in the center, it has to cross like this, on this angle here, and the Z on that angle there. It does not go across like an I, okay? It's a one-way, it's a circuit. They're circuits. The H and the I, okay, come from many places. One of the H and I's come from the split of the energy that connects the omega egg. But since I didn't make it, can I show you something and then end this? You want to see the I? I hope I can do this. You see the I? Forget about the points, but the flat bar, the flat bar, the flat bar. Well, that creates your I, okay? Your H comes in when you go from this point to this point here, to this point here, to this point here. And it creates tic-tac-toe! And away we go, one more time, let's go. 3 creation. You ever think of this? Listen to this. If a pregnancy is 39 weeks, 273 days, 3 of the days would be because of the creation. You go into the bedroom, to this, to that, the whole thing, okay? Well, that's the number, okay? Now, you're left with 270 days. Now, if I took 270 days and split it in 2, I would get 135. If I use it in letters, 135, it says ace, ace. The angle of 135 degrees, one way on the clock and the other way on the clock, or on your telephone, that square pad, ends up into the 7 and into the 9. Now, what was I saying? Wow, I can't believe I lost the thought. I can't believe I lost the thought. What was I thinking? Oh, yes. 135 says ace, ace. 135 degrees on each side, okay? It's 270 plus the 3 makes 39 weeks, 7 days. You're with me so far? It's also in the number 9 of your birth. That's where it is. It points to the 9. That's the funny thing about it. Oh, there's so much more. There's just tons. The rabbit hole, the one-eyed jack, 10, net, 4. Oh, ways to make the swastika. First of all, if you run a line this way and this way, they all become triangles, okay? But they're all number 4s, and they're jacks, the jack letter. You see the jack letter in here? You see the jack right here, the jack? There's all the jacks. They're number 4, 4, and L. It takes 4 L's to make this swastika, and it took 4 4s to make this one. This one equals 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. This one equals 48. 4 plus 8 is 3. 16 times 3 is 48. But 7 does not go into 48. 3 into here. Creation of 7 and 3. 7 by 3 is 21. 7 and 3 is 10. 31. 1 and 3 is 4. What is 4? 4 creates the egg in order to put the dot inside of that egg for life. For life, my boys. Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure. Obviously, I forgot to show you one little thing. This is back to the Army stuff, but we're not going to get into it all. If you really take a look, okay, it's holding up the egg. In between, it's pinpointed. It would actually have to look like this, okay? This, and now I'm not going to explain it, just that it's a candy wrapper, and the candy wrapper uses letters W and M with 2 triangles, delta and delta. Delta is the face of the birth, okay? Anyways, it also reminded me of delta faucets. Now to come up with something, I'm just going to give you something relevant. It's just a coincidence, but there's many like this, and I'm going to start to come up with them as soon as I can. One coming up, not on order. Hot, H-O-T, 43. Cold, C-O-L-D, 34. Pretty funny, eh, how they're opposites? 43 and 34, 77. The number of Christ, 66 and 11. Because he comes down from the 2 worlds of 6 and 6, and he is a 9 with the 2 spirits. He is an X with a spirit on his right. And I got chills. Raphael, 72, 86.